All right, so let's talk more about these developments. Joining us from Naivasha is Francis Meja, who's a Director General NTSA. DG, thank you very much for making time for News Desk. Let's begin with, you have come out clearly to state that Alco-blow in and of itself has not been banned. However, the use of Alco-blow cannot in itself create an offence. So isn't it an exercise in futility that you're practicing?
Well, I don't think it is, because we will still continue charging drivers under Section 44 as advised by the Court of Appeal. And one of the items that we'll be using to determine the inability of a person to be in control of a vehicle is the level of alcohol in their breath. So I think we will still go on with our operations. The main principle is that, and the truth of the matter is that drink driving is illegal. And I think that is what we shall continue doing.
But your operation and all those that you arrested over the weekend were released. So again, back to the question, exercise in futility, because you're still to change the mechanism in which you arrive to bring evidence to court that these people are drunk. You're still using the same gadget that you've been told by the court cannot be adduced as evidence in court.
You remember these people who were released yesterday were not charged under Section 44. But going forward, that is what we shall be using. And any other culprits that will be apprehended, we'll be using Section 44 to charge them.
So what does Section 44 highlight that for us, say to our viewers?
It simply says that anybody who is intoxicated to the level that they are not able to be in control of the safe run or the operation of a vehicle is an illegal offence under the Traffic Act.
So how do you intend to prove that? Because you have been using the Alco-blow to prove that individuals are under the influence while driving. So as you charge them under this section, how is it you intend to prove that they are drunk?
Well, once we have determined that somebody is drunk using the breathalyzer, then one of our officers will be able to testify in a court of law.
All right, so you're still going back to the breathalyzer. Doesn't that get you still in the same problem that you have the court ruling on, and many looking at yourselves like getting in between a rock and a hard place, as opposed to going back to the drawing board and figuring out how to work this out going forward? Are you saying it's impossible to go forward without the breathalyzer?
Well, we have actually sought under a certificate of urgency the correct interpretation of this ruling. But in the meantime, we'll use our officers to give evidence as we wait for the advice from the court. And should there be necessary for us to have an amendment in the Traffic Act, we will do. But in the meantime, that does not stop us from apprehending those who are drinking and driving.
All right, so it will just be your officers that will be appearing before court to give testimony. Hasn't that happened before?
No, it hasn't been happening. What we've been relying on is the result of the breathalyzer test. But in addition to that, now we'll be having our officers to testify and give their testimony that this person was apprehended at this time and was incapable of being fully in control of the vehicle in a safe manner.
Okay. Although, Director, I imagine the person would argue the way it was proven was using a gadget that was ruled incapable of being adduced as evidence. So again, I think my question remains unanswered as to how you get around the Alco-blow question, because then one would argue that, you know, it's the same gadget that it does not, in our current law, isn't submittable in court.
Well, we will be challenging that, and one of the issues that we know for a fact is that the minister responsible for transport under the Traffic Act is empowered to give regulations and to introduce regulations. These Alco-blow regulations were introduced and gazetted by the minister. And therefore, those are some of the clarity that we want to hear from the court. But in the meantime, it is absolutely clear we have not been given any orders stopping us from our operations. And as far as we are concerned, we are going on.
All right. So what Kenyans should expect, your announcement as we even go into Easter, a long weekend, is that there will be Alco-blow arrest will continue and you will get people charged. Is that your statement this afternoon?
Correct. And we want to make it clear, for avoidance of doubt, we have enhanced our teams to detect those who want to drink and drive, especially during Easter holiday.